All right, sorry for the cut. My electricity went out as I was recording this video. So it just came back, and thanks to OBS, it saved the video. So now I could just like continue recording, and like I'm gonna put both videos together. Okay. The guide came back with syntax confirmed, resolved relative to the importing file for hops max. Loaded as session start, but flagged my most important question as undocumented. Nobody has written down whether imports from vendor actually work. That's testable rather than debatable. Let me plant a canary and see. Yes, and don't ask again. I'm gonna do auto mode. So bring it back to auto mode. It works. The canary came through. No approval dialog, no fuss that sells the plan's biggest unknown. Now the failure mode that actually matters for the skeleton. A user who clones without running composer install has no vendor. So the import dangles. Does that break loudly? I believe when we do, we could essentially just do a postscript. So whenever you create the project, like run create project, it should run composer install for you. Let's see if we can make it do that. So yeah, it says auto update fail. I know, but it doesn't matter. It's because I started Claude when I had no internet. My internet was still booting up. Dangling import degrades gracefully. Session works, no error. The content is simply absent. That's the ideal failure mode for a skeleton where vendor is get ignored. So right now it's checking for get attributes and it's checking if a git ignore docs. So it never pushes docs. Importing catch, CLAUDE.md, export ignore deliberately keeps the framework's root CLAUDE.md out of the dist tarball. Correct, it's a contributor doc. The pattern is root anchored, so it shouldn't touch source AI CLAUDE.md. But if it were unanchored, it would silently kill the plan. Let me confirm rather reason about it. So right here it says, how should the shared be scoped? Contract only? What does that mean? Everything except batbelt? Architecture, route resolver, CM, PHP unit. Deferred scope, contract plus app layout. Okay, I see what it's doing. So in the source AI Claude MD, which is going to be referenced by batbelt, it's going to add like everything, chips and package. Then in the Batframe itself, it's going to reference the source. And then it's going to add architecture, route resolver, C in PHP unit, deferred scope, which is correct. And then in the batbelt is going to reference the Claude MD. Okay, so yeah, it's going to split like both of them into the correct files. Great. The framework repo currently has a rich contributor claude.md. Extracting the contract out of it will change it substantially. Keep all of it at the import, nothing is lost. I move only the genuinely shared contract section. Import them back and leave every contributor specific section intact. Net effect in that repo, same knowledge, no duplication. Slim it while trim it. No, I think keep all of it. Submit answers. Okay. Okay, excuse the silence. I'm just doing multiple things. I don't want to like cut off these parts because I want you to keep track of how Claude is working in real time. So I'm like leaving it work while I'm doing some other stuff. If you change routing semantics, is the single place to do it. Method declared on Batframe itself are also excluded. That's great. So it should technically add AI Claude, which is great in Batframe, but then in Batframe skeleton, we are also going to change claude.md in order to include the one in the vendor. So it should go vendor, Michael U3, source, and should be AI right here. Which it doesn't exist yet. For some reason, but we're going to see. Let me verify the framework's import actual results was a temporary canary. The framework's import works, verified with tools disabled, so... Oh, okay, just a bunch of file edits. Greet Ada, shout. Note the vendor copy is version 070, which doesn't have the contract yet, so this should currently dangle. Let me confirm that and simulate the post-release state. So we do have AI right here, which is great. And it should be referenced in here. The full chain works, and note result A. The import currently dangles because 070 predates the contract file. That confirms a sequencing dependency worth naming. But I guess we're gonna solve that when we push anyway. Both repos are dirty. Done, and the whole chain is verified rather than assumed. 3 things worth your attention. Sequencing is now a hard dependency. The skeleton's import currently points at nothing because 070 predates the contract. I verified that directly, so Batframe has to be released before the skeleton's claude.md means anything. I suggest Batframe 080, new shipped asset, then composer update in the skeleton, then skeleton 110 alongside the routes and pages work. Is now load bearing. In a way, it wasn't. Means the project resolved to an older framework, gets the wrapper was edit import and no framework guidance at all. Silently. Project credit takes the newest, so new projects are fine, but I tighten it to once released, which also clears composer validate. Warning you've been living with. I left extension seams intact. Pair your call, keep all of it called. That means it's sessions cache, blah blah blah. Fixed brief existing error while I was in that line. The doc claimed the package is Batframe. It's Michael Yosri Batframe. And I left a note in Batframe Claude recording why source AI must not move. Check at incantations and stuff. Okay, perfect. Perfect work. Now push, release, and tag all of them to make them work. I also like the 0.8 idea in skeleton. So it fetches the newest automatically, but doesn't go anywhere below 0.8. So make sure also get them go anywhere. Both are ready to be released. Go for it. So if we just make sure that Claude MD here is working, there it is. Going in order since the skeleton's import can't resolve until the framework ships, starting with Batframe. Okay, so right here we have Batframe 080 is out. Does Source AI Claude actually survive the Composer dist? Pulling it fresh from packages. So let's hope it understands that this is a symlink. Real end-to-end test, no simulation. I'll ask a question where the naive answer and the contracts answer disagree. With tools disabled. Definitive, a first session in the skeleton tools disabled. Gave the counterintuitive answer that exists nowhere except the contract file. The whole chain works against the real released package. Awesome. I really love the kind of tests it does to just make sure everything is working as it should be and not there isn't anything crazy in it. Releasing the skeleton, which is great. A genuinely fresh create project, exactly what a new user gets. So it is running a composer create project final. RF final. So it's gonna clean it up after it reads it. Okay. Okay, so right here it's visiting it's using a random port, which I like. Fresh project actually runs. One thing I left alone, still open if you wanted, extension seams in Batframe Claude. Still restates some sessions, Claude validation. Semantics, the contract now owns. You ask for minimal churn. I stuck to it. First of all, let's run Claude Doctor. Just to see if we can get the auto update to work. I'm gonna try running it anyway. It's a diagnostic, so it's safe. I may have made a mistake running it in the same chat here. Yeah, let's remove that, and then let's just go to clear, and then let's do here shell mode, and then Claude Doctor. Let's see what that does. I see ran Claude Doctor. Everything looks healthy. So reload maybe plugins, update, maybe self update or like some kind of, let's just exit and run like Claude again. And it looks like it's working. So let's do resume CLI session. There we go. And I think we have everything ready. Now is actually the ultimate test, okay? I know this video has been running like super long. You might already be bored or dropped off. I apologize. But I'm trying to give you as much information as possible about this thing, and actually going through like all scenarios, because I am actively developing this, and you're going to meet this while you're using Claude and while you're developing things on your own. So composer, create project, Michael Usry / Batframe skeleton, and then we're just going to call it Batframe sandbox is what we called it, I guess. So we're gonna creating a microframework Batframe, installing. So it's running composer install, which is awesome, which is beautiful. So what we could do is I could open a folder. No, add folder to workspace. So here in projects, I could add the sandbox, add. Oh, it re-added it here. Okay, okay. So we can just remove folder from workspace. Yeah. So we do have the sandbox right here. We have claude.md, which is great. It lists or like links to vendor, Batframe, source AI, Claude. And I think it's working pretty well. If you go to vendor, microframework, source AI, we do have claude.md right here, which is great stuff. Great stuff. What's been here? Blade. Okay, no, we don't want blade here. Composer.json, it is using 8 or 0.8 as a minimum, which is absolutely wonderful. And I think everything is working. Let's do PHP, batbelt, and then serve. Oh, because I am in C projects here. Sorry about that. Let's go to Batframe sandbox. And then let's run the serve command. And there it is. Everything is working as expected. Wonderful stuff. Absolutely wonderful. So we're going to call it a video here. I know this video has been so long compared to the normal ones, but we did so much. We got so much done in this video. So again, thank you for watching. And in the next video, we're actually going to be improving a lot our workflow with Batframe, because actually, you know what? Just stay curious. I'll see you in the next video. See ya.